Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well and keeping out of mischief. How you been? You alright? Okay, jolly good. So yes, it's been a very busy, very busy morning. How busy has it been? Very, is what I'm hearing. But don't worry, I am here. Don't worry. That's enough, is it? I'm here, it's alright. Oh God. Oh, the arrogance of YouTube-ville is slowly going and warping my tiny little mind. But yes, how are you? That's the big thing here, primarily because I'm just getting a bit down on the rain, to be honest with you. I'm just a bit bored of... I know, I live in Britain, I get it. But, I mean... mainly because because of the amount of rain, as a majority of you know, this is all powered off grid and stuff like that. Not to rub it in, but just to prove it's possible. Lights, camera, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the rain is caused issue with the solars, and I actually had a power cut. Middle of the reading. Love it. So we're going to do it again. So, yeah, let's have a look, find out what's going on in particular concerning this lovely question that came in from Lou. Thank you, Lou, and I believe you got really pretty good amount of upvotes and stuff like that. Let's have a look. I think it was 22. Yeah, you got... Yeah, Lou Ma, hello, my dear. Hope you're doing well. Bear in mind she's trouble. Watch her, okay? She's... She's not listening. Behind her back. Careful with this one. She says, brilliant as usual. See what I mean? Beautiful. Start off with the suck-up sandwich. She knows what she's doing, right? She knows what she's doing. But could we please... See, there's always something with her. But could you please... can we have a reading on the Chinese embassy to see if it actually eventually goes ahead? Thanks. Love and sweet kisses. She doesn't actually write that, but we're getting the hint, Lou. We're getting the hint. You're flirting again. All right, okay. So let's have a look to find out what's going on with this Chinese bloody embassy. Bearing in mind, it doesn't seem to be... I don't know if it's underreported or it was a bad kind of... I don't want to call it misinformation, but... Supposedly, they've got like 6 or 7 embassies already. And the plan for this mega embassy was that they were going to close down, from what I'm hearing, like on the news and stuff, where everyone else gets it from kind of thing. They were going to... The plan was to close down other embassies to go into this mega embassy. But now that's changed to that they're going to keep... This is the way I need clarification. Educate myself and the village down below if you do know. But they're now going to keep the ones that they've already got open, and also have the, like, what on earth is going... Who does Starmer actually work for? That's what I want. Have you noticed that people are actually starting questioning that on the media as well? Not that we've been trend-setting for quite some time about that. But yes, so let's have a look with this Chinese embassy... eventually actually go ahead and stuff like that. For the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you. Always be appreciative. Now, I need to put a little caveat in this one, okay? This is probably going to be a little loosey-goosey, and I'll explain the reason why, okay? You can't read... Well, I can't, okay? Maybe I'm just dumb. More than likely. But... You can't read beyond a decision that hasn't been made yet. Does that make sense? I hope so, because I confused myself there for a second. So I would say I would take this reading with a bit of a salt pinch. Things, caveats, stuff may get in the way. Other people obviously is going... to visit at the end of January, which would make pretty much every member or majority of the members of the cabinet have now gone hop, skipping and jumping over to China at this point. I wonder why. However, so as it's such a fluid situation, I think we'll get kind of a good 70% kind of grasp of the situation, but it's not the full. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is going to be kind of like one of them ones where we're just going to play it by ear. Okay, right. So we're on the money. High Priestess, we're on the money. We know exactly what's going on here. We know exactly where his bread is buttered. I don't know. Is that a phrase? Well, we know. We've heard about. Where's Ali gone? Have they had a falling out? Is that why his knickers are in a twist now? Is he like bitter that his bestie mate, friend, Lord Ali's no longer around? Did Lady Vix find out? I'm asking for a friend. Sorry. Focus on the embassy, right? But yes, the High Priestess. We know exactly where this is going. We know exactly what's going on. We're in the zone, baby. Okay. Plotting, planning, scheming. I think this is definitely our side. This is very much a situation. I've got a cut on my hand. Where's that come from? It's not the cat this time. Where the flip? I'm getting to that age of finding bruises where I didn't. I was like, where on earth has that come from? Anyway, sorry. I generally just found that. Anyways. So two of wands here. This plot and planning, scheming. This could be the petitions, the court case, that kind of stuff. Okay. World card. They think they're triumphant. Taking a leap of faith. New beginnings. Okay. This side is definitely the ilk that we're talking about. Starmer, Chinese embassy, triumphant, like they're happy, joy, everything's going to go through. I don't think they're going to get as much as they think they're going to get. This is, yeah. Wheel of Fortune, good luck, good karma, good destiny. There's more hidden stuff going on with the Moon card. Four of Cups. Right, okay. This is difficult. So this is definitely I need to be careful here because it's not all the state. So I can't go, oh, the state or the government or the, because it's a faction of it. So as long as we know it's a faction of it, I'm going to just call it kind of like Starmer government and all, if as long as we know, okay? So this side here, the government, even though it's not all of it, they're in this kind of delusional happiness. Four of Cups. They've achieved what they wanted to achieve. They're triumphant. World card is upright. They've completed triumphantly, taking the leap of faith. They think this is going to be grand and sexy and all that kind of stuff. But there's a hell of a lot of hidden stuff in the middle. This for me, as I read on this like upside down pyramid readings that we do, I always look at what this card is in the center of the pack. Okay, because this normally is it's like the key that unlocks it all. Okay, hiding stuff. The darkness, like sometimes the moon can be intuition, sometimes almost like a Seven of Cups, kind of like daydreaming, imagination, kind of thinking about stuff, that kind of thing. But this is like there's the other shoe to drop kind of energy, more shenanigans, more hidden agendas, all that kind of stuff. And as we've got two groups here, that's the relationship between the two groups. Death. Five of Swords. Ooh. They think they're like, this is what I'm on about with this delusional happiness. Suddenly, this major fights are on. Death. This is a weird one. As a snapshot of now, of the foundation of the reading, before we get into the gossip, the energy around all this, and then the outcome at the end. This one here was very much a full stop. As if, and this feels like it's like if there were cards up here, that, like, going back a bit, they think they've put a full stop to this. End of the road for this lot. Kind of pushing back, not allowing, don't do it, that kind of thing. But as soon as I put this one down, suddenly this kind of flipped into kind of rebirth, reborn, renewal, the new start of the cycle. So they've triumphantly think they've ended the cycle here. We've bulleted our way through. We got what we wanted. Yeah. So new beginnings, new start. So like the beginning of the pack again. However, this is not over. As soon as it's the inward fighting, this here feels as if strange bedfellows. I mean it in a positive if you don't want the Chinese embassy, but it's like strange bedfellows, like certain backbenchers you wouldn't think clubbing together. Kind of Labour side. Yeah, it's got that energy of, which I love, actually, and I'm interested to see where this goes. Where everyone's differences are put aside because everyone's wanting to stop this particular thing. It doesn't make sense. There is no logical kind of understanding about it, blah, blah, blah. The more it goes on, the more we're finding out, the more crazy it's becoming. Just that kind of thing. So that's what I like about this. Yeah. The last card. Hawk Lady. Oh, very, very nice indeed. Garden of Eden, what we want to build. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles here is the Garden of Eden. The issue is, and I am leaning at this present time that it's going to be more for like you and me. I don't really know what to call this group over here. The anti-embassy side. I think this is where we're slightly overpowering because they're fighting amongst themselves kind of energy. To even prevent it as well. These are both on the same side. That's the reason why I'm leaning kind of, yeah. Overarching energy, Ace of Pentacles, planting that seed of opportunity. Okay, this is this side primarily. Okay, the government, even though it's not all of it. And then underneath, Temperance, balancing it out. Okay. The issue is with the Temperance card, this is going to drag on. Okay, it's going to balance out, but it's going to drag on. So let's have a look at the prediction deck. Oh, by the way, someone, and I can't remember who they are, and I do apologize because you know how I like to name and shame. Sorry, I mean give credit where credit is. Someone asked what cards these are. These are the 5-cent tarot. I was going to call them Oracle there. That's silly. Silly Billy. This is the 5-cent tarot. You can find them on Etsy. This is the 2nd edition. I kind of prefer the 1st edition, to be honest with you. But you can't get them anymore. So, yeah, this is the 2nd edition. Once we've sorted out Patreon and all that, it's pretty much a done deal now, Patreon. Then we will we'll sort that out. All right. I also got some sexy ideas for Patreon. Actually, I think you'll like them. I think you'll approve because the memberships here on YouTube. Bearing in mind, YouTube is not actually a video platform. It's a storage platform, really. It's just a crap ton of hard drives, if you want to be really blunt about it. Like Mackie D's is not a burger chain. It's a real estate company. They just 99% of it all is owned by McDonald's HQ. The land, okay? The burger is just there to make additional money. You know, it's flipped on its head. So basically to have it like they're their own tenant on their own land, if you think about it. So YouTube is basically a storage facility which you'd think with a membership thing would be able to then do rather sexy stuff. No. So it's... Right, anyway, more to come on that later, type malarkey. So, here we go. Let's have a butcher's at this energy here. And for the new boys and girls, we always shuffle on screen. It's all raw, there's no edits, so you can see that I'm not stacking the deck anyway or manipulating it. We all see the cards at the same time. Because that's how we roll. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to do that again. Never again. Sorry. I do apologize. One more I've been told and then we can cut. Okay. There we go. Right. Here we go. So, holding power. Two of Wands. Water rising. I think the energies are flipped here. I think. This is why I'm going into that vagueness type thing. But but then when I said that, it just flipped. Oh, what is going on? The things keep flipping. I don't like flipping things. Don't like them. Unless they're pancakes, I'm not interested. Right. So holding power, holding their line, holding their nerve, that kind of thing. Could be even a little bit of a temper tantrum type scenario. The rising water, pressure is on. Drone strike. That's social media in this case. Bombardment, that kind of thing. Full card, burnout. Right. That's the only government one here. Stuttery Starmer, whatever. There's some sort of flip going on here. What is that flip? It's understandable, like, if they're plotting, planning, scheming, the public side of things to prevent this from happening, they're planning to put the pressure on. The water's rising, yeah? With this flip of energy here, it really... Let's go a bit further, but that is significant, but frightfully confusing. Wheel of Fortune. There's more people coming from this side. This feels like a whistleblower type scenario. The moon taken by force. Yeah. This is a situation where there's more to it, but I'll say this to help tell the story. This is a situation where, like, the MI5, MI6, all that lot, are saying, no, put their reports in, no, that can't be right, can't do it, this, that, and the other, very much concerns, blah, blah, blah. And I think there's evidence of censoring that, or like a redaction, or like... So even though the reports were reasonably damning, they were a hell of a lot worse. And it's gone through kind of like a censorship. That's what I'm like, the taken by force was taking the data from this lot and then just like watering it down a little bit. Four of Cups. Resigns, leaves office. Oh. We're still on for the, this could be it. This could be it. Don't want to get the hopes up, but we're still on track for the prediction at the beginning of the year. That's all I'm saying. Excuse me. But then begs the question, who... Because this is a huge can of worms. Because this resigned, like, this doesn't feel like Starmer, I'm sorry to say. But it's got that, like, domino effect to it. It's kind of, finally people are getting their accountability comeuppance, that kind of thing. This feels like whoever ordered or whoever did this kind of censoring, and whoever wrote this is now over here, is basically what I'm getting. All right? Death card. Imprisoned. Oh. 5 of Swords. Compromised. So these are stuck. Yes, we're like, there's a GoFundMe right now concerning the judicial review, but they are a bit trapped. It's like the final kind of dregs and stuff. These lot hold all the cards quite literally, but they're compromised. But the more actions they show, the more actions they do, the more the questions are starting to ask in mainstream media, because we've been kind of questioning it for a little while now. A little while. There's like, who does Starmer actually work for? Etc. etc. And now 9 of Pentacles, tensions. Overarching energy, more water, underwater, pressure's really, stay put though. Hold your breath, my dears. This is what I'm on about. This delay, this kind of, so the cat's being a crazy shenanigan because it's raining. She can't go out, or she refuses to go out, shall we say. She's pampered. And now she's causing mischief. It's not my fault. Why do pets in general, all right? The dog don't really care, but like primarily the cat for me, gives me the look as if I'm the one in charge of weather. Why have you done this? Why is it so wet, Gigi? What have you done? I done nothing. So yeah, imprisoned, detained. This is by design. There's a little caveat here that, I really wish, I hope they don't go down it, but there is something like kind of using other laws to shut down dissent, similar to what we, like Lucy Connolly, kind of like hate speech, blah, 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 that kind of thing. It's got that part element to it. Purposely attacking their opposition type thing here. Which is actually fascist. I hate to burst the Labour bubble if you are Labour. I'm sorry, my darlings, but that is a fascist thing to do. As they like to blame everybody else as fascist or brand them as fascist. It's like, no, but you're like the rule of thumb, generally speaking, for progressive people. Okay. Remember that left and right doesn't exist. Hasn't existed for about 20, 30 years. It's either progressive or if there is a spectrum, it's a very long spectrum, but basically it's progressive, which is the Ed Davies, Stuttery Starmers, like basically Lib Dems, Greens, Labour, half of the Conservatives who like what's happening and actually want more of it. That, you know, the madness that's going on right now is basically by design. Okay, remember, you will own nothing and be happy. However, and I found somebody who tweeted out that video that we keep on quoting. It's on my Twitter, subtle hint down below. I reposted it. It's like, I haven't seen this in years. They tried to remove it from the internet after people called it out. But it's basically their plan for 2030. And it's quite interesting going through the 8 slides they've got of that video. And it's only like about 2 minutes long. How many they've already achieved collectively around the world, how much has actually been achieved, even the immigration and migration and all that kind of stuff. So I completely forgot it was in there, to be honest. Yeah, it was like, bloody hell. Anyway. The point is that progressive, they like it, they want it, they keep doubling down, that's all that kind of stuff. But they're the nice guys. They're the ones that keep saying that they're the nice guys, but then their actions say otherwise. And then on the other end of this spectrum, a long, long way down the bottom, is basically true anarchy. Okay? Like, no rules, no regulations, none now. They're like bedlam, in my humble opinion. Okay, cray, as the cool kids say. For the record, I have mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. I'm about here, all right? So I'm saying, okay, I'm like the bare minimum, I would say, before we get towards madness, in my humble opinion, where it's like small government, kind of, they do the decent job, which also, by the way, would mean less taxes because there's less of them, and they're doing the basics of what they're supposed to be, like defense, maybe health, education. Even that's turning questionable, and that kind of thing. Okay, that's right there. Right. So this is why the tensions. I felt like that was important to do that, Spectrum, because these tensions here is the clashing. It's the exposing of the progressives even more, because what they say, we're the nice guys, is proving out, and they're going to start getting into temper tantrums territory is what I'm getting here, to get their way. Okay? They'll brand everybody, everything under the sun, because that's what they do. But 9 times out of 10, if they call somebody fascist, then 9 times out of 10 with these progressive type people, especially in America, I have to be said, that I think this is where it really started with the Democrats, or it became most obvious there. So whatever they call somebody else, 9 times out of 10, they have done the same, are doing the same, or have done worse. But to distract, they're like, you're a this, you're a that, you're a racist, you're a blah, blah, blah. And this is just my own humble opinion. I'm sure I'll be extraordinarily wrong. If you are tick boxing and actually collecting data, in my humble opinion, based on skin, you're the racist, not us. We don't care. Obviously, there's a caveat. There's always one or two. But like overall, people don't care. So if you're only doing policies for only those people, or that, like, yeah, that's why I keep calling out that, like, just to really put it into context, and I'm broad strokes here, but Jess Phillips, safeguarding minister, only talking about women and girls. What about the boys? Women and girls, been doing this for years. Women and girls. What about the boys? You're safeguarding. It's not a sex thing. Yeah? How's it turned into a kind of split there? Do you see what I'm saying? It's that kind of, by design, they are the worst of their, they say they're not. They'll stand up for individuals, and this is going back to the divide and conquer malarkey, isn't it? But overall, it's like, what are you doing? I've noticed recently they're still pushing this BAME thing. Have you noticed? I can't remember. What is it? Black, Asian, Middle East? Is that right? Even though, if you remember, a couple of years ago, do you remember this as well? Where they like multiple kind of community groups and stuff like really push back. It's like, how dare you put us in a caveat like LGBT alphabet spaghetti kind of thing? Who do you think you are? Do you remember that? It was like all over the news. It's like, don't you dare, kind of like, and then all of a sudden they're still sneaking it out again. It's like, geez, what are these people? And that's why you really need to keep an eye on progressive types. If there's if you ever hear, oh, this budget is progressive, or this project is progressing, there's like down that kind of thing or whatever. Excuse me, red flag. My throat chakra just went blah, 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 blah. Red flag. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, red flag. Says it all. Which means there's always another agenda. Right, this is useful for them only to get closer to their ultimate goals. So, and it's the Fabian Society, progressivism, whatever you want to call it, WEF. Oh, there's a footnote there, right? But overall, it's all the same. Right. So. But remember, they're always the nice guys. They're always the nice guys. One more. Okay, so the outcome to this reading is... feels mixed. Feels like they're going to ask the question again, like an appeal or something, which is another thing that the progressives always do. If you get the wrong answer, notice how Starmer was all over like having a second referendum. People didn't know what they were voting for. Oh, excuses. Working people are thick. They didn't know what they were voting for. Working people, Breakfast Club. So they should have a second referendum and they will get the correct answer this time. Working people. Melon. Right. Hierophant. Ooh. Rules and regulations, that kind of stuff. See, this is what I'm on about. This is what this flip thing. Keep coming back to this flip thing. 8 of Cups. Walking away, but trying to level up. Yeah? This person, yes, is discarding this 8 of Cups down here, but he is off on an adventure to get to his wish come true. 9 of Cups. Okay, that's the whole premise of this card. But I was reminded of the flip again. There's his 9th cup. Hey, he's walking towards it. It's nice. There's Starmer. There's... okay. Okay. Yeah, not liking this. Manipulating. Well, we'll do this. We'll do working people. We'll do this with these caveats. Like, there was a report last night, overnight. Shockingly, because it was last night. It would be overnight. Duh. I'm professional. Shut up. Where they were like, MI5 on the front page news and stuff, papers, things. They were talking about how they're planning to move the cables and planning to do this and planning to do that. It's like, how much is that going to spend? Like, who's paying for that? Yeah? It's like, what? And also, it's the Royal Mint. Like, isn't that kind of grade 2 listed or something? Why isn't it grade 1 listed? It's history, for goodness sake. They're kind of... It'd be very funny, because bearing in mind, slightly ironic, it's just dawned on me, pennies just finally dropped. It's like, yes, it's the old Royal Mint location, slap bang near Bank of England, blah, 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 stuff like that. However, and like Windsor Castle, I think, as well, or Tower London, or whatever it is, I don't know. I don't go to London because it's weird. Sorry, but it's just weird. But I also like keeping my phone. That's another reason why I don't go to London. However, isn't it ironic that they're begging China for money and this embassy is on the Royal Mint? So basically it's quite, I think they call that, I think Disney calls that synergy. Synergy. Yes, you're begging for money, you little peasants, Starmer little peasants from us, your new daddy. And so we will be here. So everybody knows where the money's really coming from and who you actually work for, allegedly. So that's definitely Starmer. Notice how far away from the rules and regulations, law and order and all that kind of stuff he is. Yeah? How far he's got to go. Now, some people are going to, like, it gets too pressury, especially when this is going on. This also, I have to say also, is not just like the government, Labour, hate crime, this, that and the other, smearing people, blah, 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 that kind of thing. This also feels like I'm going to get this wrong, but the Hong Kongians, is that right? The only one I know for sure, when I was about 12, I went to Malta, and at no point, I like the tour guide, everybody, like as we're going along there, whatever you do, do not refer to them as Maltesers. They are not That's the only one I definitely categorically know what they are. Oh, well, apart from Froggy French. Well, 2. I know 2 for definite. So if I've just offended the Hong Kongians, Hong Kong Easters. I don't know. Either way, I apologise, but this feels like the people talking out are also getting suddenly. Because remember, they came here for protection, and now you've got their own police in their own embassies and all that kind of shenanigans going on. Interesting. They're calling out. This is I kept predicting that the hypocrisy is going to be blatantly obvious. Everyone's complaining about these masked, ICE in America. Unmarked cars, unmarked this, unmarked that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're coming on people, just yanking people off the streets and stuff. China's doing it already. And no one gives a monkeys. Well, the people in charge don't seem to give a monkeys. So this feels like the usual bartering, trinkets, negotiation kind of stuff. Queen of Pentacles being mumsy. Excuse me, being proactive, organised. I like saying that, like they've got all the Tupperware boxes. They're all kind of organised and that kind of thing. I like that. This here, I really do worry about. I really do worry where it gets to like they're almost like peer pressured out, or this down here they're suddenly disappearing, or it's getting too dangerous for them to be part of it, kind of their name there, kind of like that. That's what sort of thing I'm getting here. So you've got the peer pressure of the government. You've got the peer pressure from kind of taking them out one by one. Anything to get it through. It's dirty tactics. It's just dirty. Taken by force, this censorship thing. Empress. We hold all the cards. See, this is the thing. This is the going back to the moon, being the censored, that kind of thing. The Empress, I found coffee, by the way. I don't know how that happened. Cheers, my dears. It's like a really bad geocache. It's like the worst game of hide and seek ever. I just look over there and it's like, oh, I found coffee. Lovely. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's nice. Just the right honey in it as well. Is that? Oh, I could sell that. That's lovely. But anyway, so the Empress here is the fruits of their labor, the harvest. Okay, so surrounded by. So this is the data in this instance. Normally it's skills, mindset, knowledge-based understandings, blah blah blah, friends, family, but. For the new boys and girls, another truck is trying to go up the hill of crazy. They're really revving it as well. I don't know if you can hear that or not. That's why I always mention it, because it's so loud, even though there's reasonably far away, because it's one of these hills. It's deceptive, okay? If you don't run at a certain way at a certain point, halfway up the hill, the lorryist suddenly has a squeaky bum time, and then they get stuck. Thankfully, there is no ditches each side. It is safe. It's just hilarious because then they've got to try and work out what they're going to do next. Are we going to go try and first gear and try and crawl? No, that ain't working. Oh no, we actually do have to reverse all the way down and go back up again. That's the inevitable one. They have to go like. Fun times. Sorry. I only mention it because the amount of revving, just the noise, I don't know if you can hear it or not. Anyway. So this is surrounded by the fruits of their labor, the harvest, okay? But in this instance, it's the data, the information. And bearing in mind, it's already been censored. Bearing in mind, by taken by force, it's been hidden, it's been censored, it's now, they've got it. Stored here. So this would work out even quicker and better and cheaper if they had access to this. This feels as if it's purposely just like putting a file. What is that film that's got? Is it Emma Thompson in it? And it's I don't want to give spoiler alert or anything like that. I'm just going to be very subtle. I haven't seen it for ages. She's defending, it's a court thing, drama, and she is defending a suspected IRA terrorist, I think it is. Yes, and by certain means and stuff like that, one of the scenes near the end is that she was able to get access to certain files, and there's actually labels and like sticky notes, post-it notes on these files that said, don't, whatever you do, don't give them to the defendant. Yeah? Don't show these to the defendant. Hide them away. It's that sort of energy that I'm getting there. It's a really good, she's pretty young in it. Well, she looks young now, but I mean, she's like practically a fetus in it. It's like years ago, but it's a pretty good film. What is it called? Anyway, down below, comment, please educate me. I'm not IMDb. I just, the image came through. So, Wheel of Fortune, Good Luck, Good Karma, Good Destiny. That's up right as well. That's the second time? That is the second. Yes, second time. But this is on Starmer. Okay? So they are going to purposefully delay, drag this out, all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, it's almost got the energy of they're going to get on with building it anyway. It's really got that sort of energy here, that even though all this, it's all up at here, they're holding on to the data, they're not sharing it. And so it's a Wheel of Fortune, you're stuck. You can't do anything. Kind of stamping his foot. Page of Cups. Notice how this is flirting, basically flirting. Okay, so there's like these caveats and things, and we could, we promise that this will happen and this, that. No. It's like twice they're kind of negotiating or trying to negotiate or trying to be the nice guys. Oh, okay, well, how can we do all they need to do is give access to this, and then it'll be done deal. But they don't want it. And why don't they want it? Who do they work for? Question mark. Compromised, harmful, truth. Oh. This feels like the 9th hour. All right. I know the term isn't the 11th hour, but this feels like the 9th. All right. It's getting a squeaky bum time type thing. Behind enemy lines, the truth comes out. Notice how this is connected. Right? We always look at how the cars are connected to each other. So the Empress, this data hidden, don't want it exposed. We've put it in a vault, hiding away. Only certain people have access to it. Only certain people know it even exists. All that kind of shenanigans. Ace. Notice this. Compromised. And then we had the 5 of Swords underneath, haven't we? So the truth comes out. So while they're like trying to push, squeeze with this flirting, this, but we're the nice guys. Ace of Swords. Truth. Truth, knowledge, information, clarity, data, information, evidence. Yeah? It's like literally kind of like it feels like a bomb has gone off. Like information bomb. It's like, and then all of a sudden, it's one of those situations where the lies are massive. It's the only way to call it. Because remember, this is the judicial review. That's going to be delayed. This feels as if what's been said there doesn't correspond with what's being exposed here, which then is a whole new heap of trouble. Okay? Hence the compromised thing. You've lied to court. I'm broad stroking here, all right? But it's like the documents you've submitted to court is nothing like what you've submitted or has been exposed down here. This is from this vault. Okay. Tensions escalate. Holding on for dear life, security, comfort blanket, heartbreak, new foundations. See, this is quite literal. Three of Pentacles. Oh, hello. This is this over here. So building work starts. Gets going. Something happens. This is delaying so much that they can just get going, and all that kind of stuff. That's what this is feeling like until this bombshell. But, footnote, happily ever after. I think the heartbreak here is when this comes out, because this feels like desperation kind of covering their own backsides. It's like, oh, we didn't know, oh, working people. I didn't know this vault even existed, working people. All that BS, right? All that kind of shenanigans. This is reminding me, like on Twitter earlier, thing down below, link below. Because like Labour press office released like Nigel Farage is like I can't remember the exact words, but it's like 17 times he's not been transparent with his finances and stuff like that, and blah 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 and whatnot. I was like, this is really rich for Labour to say all this, because it's like a reasonable amount of people in Labour are multi-millionaires. Yet they've only worked for the public sector. It's like if an MP is only on, well, only bunny flop, but compared to the private sector, kind of only. If they're on 90k a year, give or take, and a front bench one is what, 130, 140,000, something like that, isn't it? Something like that. I know it's 100 and something, but yeah. And that's all they've done. Like an Yvette Cooper, or Mrs. Balls, as we like to call her, because, says it all, really. But, like, what, do you know what I mean? It's like, where are you getting this money? Where's the rest of it coming from? Yeah? How are you all multi-millionaires? How is Keir Starmer, who's been, I used to be in, CPS, head of CPS and all that kind of stuff, yeah? I used to do, I've been all that. How is he so rich that he's even got his own law, his own law, only him, for him, that his tax-paid pension plan, right, is in its own safeguarding law, so he doesn't pay tax on it, to only protect himself from the tax from that. It's that big, right? That's a phrase that's never been used before towards him. Because he's overly compensating for something. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, how... And yet oh, not Farage. Oh, he's a bad boy. Oh, he's... So, anyway... But it's that kind of energy. We're the nice guys. Oh, we didn't see this happening. All the excuses, thick and fast, all that kind of stuff. Down here. Like I said, I think this heartbreak is, and I don't mean this in the legal term, I'm just mean in general, how corrupt this situation really is. Especially as the truth bombs here with the Ace of Swords. That's us, happily ever after. But they will be, this feels as if there is definitely some building work done, something started, that kind of thing. And then the question is then, do they stop? Where do we go? That kind of stuff. Hence defending their ground kind of energy down here. In fact, I'm just going to use the Dinky deck very quickly. So once the situation is truly exposed, truly going on, the true extent of the matter, does the Chinese embassy actually get built? For the greatest good for all concerned here. Will they stay the way they are at the moment? All right. I'm going to shuffle these. So bear with us. Just to like directly answer the question. The truth of the matter again, Ace of Swords. So based on that information, I'm glad that's the first card out. That helps me tell the story. Right, so based on the information and the Empress, the full kind of expose of all this kind of stuff, I think this is the reason why Hillsborough law isn't going through. Queen of Pentacles, Mumsy wins. So the truth comes out. Can you see it? Yeah, okay. For a second, for me, it looked really complicated, like color-wise. I was just like, can you see that? Or is there like that? So truth comes out. The full vault is opened, or a lot of it is opened. Indecision, celebration, they're trapped. But yeah, the underlying energy balancing out again. So due to the Three of Cups here, and then they're stuck. They're like this. It's there may be some work started, but that's it. This feels like not just a difficult decision. They're painted into a corner. This rot. It's like they don't know what to do. Celebrations. Okay. So this is going to be all right. As we're, like I said, we're about 70% here at the moment. This is ending up like some will start, like maybe a little bit of demolishing, maybe some like the foundations of certain things, that kind of stuff. And then it's scuppered. They don't know what to do. Celebration win. All right. Hence the wish coming true. And this, happy home underneath. Out in the cold. Yeah. Page of Swords. There's more to this. Justice. This is whistleblower energy again. This feels, right, once someone's had the balls, as it were, the cojones to drop this Ace of Swords, right? More whistleblowers come out. These feel like protected people. This is like person X, that kind of energy. But we've got Justice. What's underneath there? Tower. This is purpose. I know I've already done a reading on it. Go and do the reading on that. This is why Hillsborough has not passed yet. And it's purposely being delayed. Okay? It's so they can get through this sort of crud as if it's like, this is the last one. This is the last one before, because someone's finally, because that's being watered down. That's been pulled to be watered down. This whole MI5 thing and blah, 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 that's BS. They're covering their own backs. It's basically what the energy from that reading was. Go and watch it if you wish. It's on the channel. It's free. Why not? But the YouTube channel. But this here feels as if this is, I think this is the subject. Yes, we've got Chagos, but this is the subject. This is the one that breaks the camel's back. Because yes, we've got Chagos. Yes, we've got the spy trials. Yes, we've got all these other kind of, I don't want to belittle them, but for this reading, kind of hearsay style things, if you get me. Yeah, they're serious, but they're like, oh, the connection's loosey goosey, right? At least on paper, it's all on the up and up, even though clearly we know it's not, right? So, and that's before we even get to the leak. The last time Starmer met with Chi or C or whatever his name is from China, and that like all the press are ushered out the room, and that little kind of recording of we're bringing it in house so that we've got control over it and blah blah blah, all that for the embassy. Yeah, it's like loosey goosey. It's damning, but it's not concrete. Yeah, this is concrete. This is massive. and puts everything else into perspective. That's why it's paramount that Hillsborough can be held back so they can get this done to then, oh no, like, see, I've done my promise. I've kept my promise. I said it was going to be one of the first things I did, but, you know, like 4 years later, here it is, Hillsborough. It's that kind of thing. I'm going to do the Kipper deck and then we'll get out of here, all right? So. I'm so glad that those cards, I love it when cards repeat themselves because it just doubled down on the energy. Yeah, the clear conversations that we're having. It's interesting that the morality of the blob, oh, we've got a footnote there. The morality of the blob kind of wakes up. That's what it feels like with the Ace of Swords. Not all of it, obviously, but enough to expose the madness going on. Right. Official person. Lovers, that's the deal. That there feels like, this feels like the people actually calling it out. Yeah, this here feels like the opposite, like MI5, MI6. People are actually kind of saying it as it is before it goes through the classifying mill, censorship mill, hiding it from public viewing mill. This is the deal. This feels like partly government, partly China and others. Family room, there's the deal. What happens in this room stays in the room. Yeah? Mature woman, message of concern in it just. Keeps coming up. Concern, message of concern, message. 3 of them constantly keep coming up. Mature woman feels like the country as an entity. Okay, Britannia as an example. I know that's the sea. I get it, but I mean like that kind of ideal character, ideal person, that ideal, you know, that. So that's like back in the, I know it's not the same, but like for Queen and Country, that kind of thing, for King and Country, like that kind of, yeah, that ideology. So the fact that we've got the official people who have been calling this out and have been basically squashed as it keeps coming out over again and again and again, but it will come out eventually. Mature woman, that is the ideal of the country. The lovers, that's the deal between China, Labour, etc. Message of concern, they're being exposed. Overarching energy, thoughts again. Lots of thoughts recently. Poverty. But if we don't do this, we won't get the money. We won't get this. We won't get that. It's that's why we've got to do it. No, you just stop spending so much. Fire Ed Miliband. That will save you like 25 billion or whatever it is. Did you know, before we get to this footnote, I am shocked that more people aren't talking about this in the mainstream media and stuff like that. For all the U-turns, and this does not include the pubs U-turns coming, the farmers U-turn, which is only a partial U-turn in my humble opinion, the costings of that. At the moment, we're at 8 point something billion, 8.6, I think it is, billion it's cost us on all these U-turns. It's actually costing us money for their stupidity. Just saying. Community in reverse as the footnote. This is the bullying that we're talking about here, this pulling it apart. They're so interested that one side, community, community groups are great. are, community enthusiasm, this, that, and the other. But when the community actually try and sticks up, they'll pull it apart in any which way. They detain them, they smear them, they're like put this, like I said, this feels like actually putting them in danger. The people who have actually tried to escape China and now they're being, put in harm's way. All that kind of stuff. The damage, the amount of damage that they're going to be doing in this sort of thing. This is I can't believe I'm even going to say this. This is going to be worse when it comes out than the post office scandal. And they, like Ed Davey, was in charge of partly of that. Yeah, it came out in the newspaper in the last week or so that he made kickback from the same legal team that was going after the sub postmasters and all that kind of stuff on fraudulent cases. He got 250,000 kickback somehow. I didn't read the full thing. But it's like bloody hell. Strangely, they're all multimillionaires, aren't they? Thinking of the little guy. But they're going to rip this community apart as much as possible. As much as possible, because this deal has to get through. I genuinely think this is hideous. This is actually hideous what they've got to do. But they will be celebrated. This community will celebrate at the end. All right? But it's amazing how much they're going to use the apparatus to target these people compared to, I don't know, borders. That would be a good idea. Or, not doing weird deals with China. That would be a good deal. Good thing to do. I don't know. But it's very interesting that if you see it, I've been keep on saying this, but everyone, Canada, France, a lot of EU, UK, all at the same time are pushing towards China. Right? It's almost as if it's orchestrated, isn't it? Yeah? Without a vote, without a say, without any sort of... And then they stand there saying it's all for national security. It's like, what on earth are you... You're just morons. Morons. You think people are going to... And that was within 24 hours it came out. It's like, how is this national security again? How's this work? Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this here. I think we've pretty much covered it at the moment, but it is a win at the end, but it's going to be a long road. All right. It's just going to be a long road. Anyway. So if you enjoyed this, please thummy, hype if you get the option and all that kind of stuff. The likes generally do help the channel. Thank you so much indeed. Subscribe, dingling the bell, and all that jazz. Comment down below if you would like to suggest a future reading as well. There will be hopefully some more news about what we're going to be doing with memberships and things within, shall we say, just after the weekend. Give me a bit of time to boot it up and all that kind of stuff, and then go from there, and I'll explain it all and all that jazz. However, until next time where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.